Welcome to the presentation of this exciting Wolfram Consulting user story. Today, we are going to talk how we design and build an LLM tailored to our client needs. I am Filippo Visco Comandini, and I've been working as a project director in Wolfram Solution, the consulting arm of Wolfram Research, for the last 12 years. My ground is in applied mathematics, and I got my PhD in France several century ago, and now I am fully working for Wolfram. So in this talk, we are going to show the result of the successful collaboration between the Wolfram Consulting Group, to be specific, Wolfram Solution, and a German startup called LabV. And together we built a digital assistant based on LLM and Wolfram technology at the top of their LabV data management platform. So what is LabV? So LabV is a cutting-edge data management platform designed to revolutionize quality assurance and product development process. Let's actually click on the link over there. And then we are going to see, I will show you actually briefly what it does. We'll take a tour because we don't have access to the same product. And so this is actually what the LabV data platform look like. Hopefully it's working. And it's not. Okay, perfect. But fundamentally, what is LabV? The LabV actually, okay, this is not working as expected. Okay, so we can go back and see, actually, I previously saved, luckily, some screenshot that actually I was trying to see. This is actually what the LabV data platform look like. It fundamentally gathers all the essential data in one centralized location. Their intent is to simplify the complex task of laboratories that faces every day. So they are tracking equipment data, monitoring sample quantity. You can see over there that they will access. And so they are accessing the details of the different product from extensive database. At the core of the LabV philosophy is the automation of these routine laboratory tasks that can try to power the laboratory personnel to focus on more their critical aspect. And so by removing this burden of this manual process, the LabV actually allows staff to focus and dedicate more their time actually to these tasks that matter the most. So through their platform, in general, you can access data coming from all the lab devices and analyze them and visualize them. So this is a way to see. So sorry, it's in German because they're a German company, but there are few English translation. And so we are arriving actually at the final product that actually it's this data set. So the LabV intention fundamentally is maximizing the efficiency of the data management. So many laboratories still deal with fragmented data sources and manual data entries. And this, of course, leads to increased data loss and accuracy. It slows product development cycles, affect fundamentally the efficiency in general. What they're trying to do is the data integration, because LabV actually provides the capability to connect to a wide variety of devices within the environment. They can manage a variety of data sets, and it solves another big problem for the laboratory. There are actually historical data, and easy access to historical data has increased proficiency and basically shorten the material development timelines. Without historical context, most of the labs actually are left to repeating time-consuming process. Often they have to reinvent the wheel instead of actually building on past successes. The last part is the most important one, is the data-driven insight. So using their advanced analytic tools and visualization, the LabV is capable of uncovering critical trends and anomalies that previously were actually hard to detect. Without the real-time data analysis, in general, labs struggles to detect anomalies and correlation early on. So this efficiency combined with the lack of transparency fundamentally undermines product quality and drains valuable resources. Of course, faster the detection is can actually make a real difference between a simple minor adjustment and major setback in the project development. In short, LabV addresses all these challenges by centralizing the data and automating routine tasks and providing the tools to empower the laboratories. So what really they have built, actually they built this LabV digital assistant. Is one of the standing features of this platform is this assistant. It's a powerful tool that combines actually the LLM capability with the Wolfram technology to explore and analyze the data. Okay, what are the key features of this assistant? Let's look a bit. So the first one is the comprehensive data exploitation. So the LabV assistant makes sure that actually no data goes unnoticed. It's capable of integrating both the historical and real-time data. And this comprehensive approach actually allows the lab team to draw insight from past trends while staying responsive to the current conditions. Fast insights about the visualization, LabV, of course, can process large data set rapidly and can generate insightful analysis and visualization in real time. Trends and anomaly detection, the system doesn't simply process the data, it detects trends and hidden discrepancies and anomalies. So this is actually enhanced accuracy and improving control over time. So it's very important. And the last part is complex correlation. The discovering is actually one of the system's most valued capabilities is the ability to uncover this intricate relation in the complex data sets. I can show you actually a Git version of the demo. The demo is not yet available, and you can see this is actually what the digital assistant look like. It's a chat box. You can see right now they are actually writing in English. As you can see here, they also misspelled, but because it's an LLM, it's no problem. So by asking, actually there is certain data set, it's getting fast response. Maybe here it's a little more fast than what its real life is. But fundamentally, it can actually search for data. Here, they are extracting the data, gives you the overview of the data. And more important, actually can, through like analytic visualization, you can see actually a really nice feature that actually can double check the results. So here they're showing the quality control, and this quality control you can see right now here, and it's very fast. And so I took a screenshot because right now the Git actually start over, and this is actually what the quality control provide to the user. And this quality control was one of the key feature of that was the first basic example where we actually knew that this assistant could make really a difference with the previous to the previous system. So getting back, in conclusion, this LabV digital assistant basically brought unprecedented values to the laboratories. So it's really ensured that no data is overlooked and provide fast and actionable insights. So when they decided to build all this digital assistant, they actually came to us. So LabV contacted Wolfram Solution to develop this digital system. And so the big question is, why Wolfram, right? We know that we're living in an area where AI is transforming industries, and particularly like these new LLM are incredibly attractive to any company. But we know that as powerful these AI are, there are limits on actually what they can achieve. Actually, this is where the Wolfram comes in. I can say that today Wolfram is the key to unlock this full potential of the UI. So the first thing is the Wolfram technology stack for tool-assisted AI. Wolfram supercharge AI with a computational superpower. LLM using this technology can access to precise real-time computation capability. That means that they are no longer a simple language processor or like a chat, but they are becoming like advanced problem solver. Whatever that it's real data, complex visualization, or statistical calculation, actually the Wolfram enhances this ability to perform like beyond like the classical LLM shape. There is a beautiful blog written by Stephen Wolfram that attracted so much attention, and this was actually dated on March 2023 at the dawn of the GPT crazy fever, and it's really well written and explained to us actually the common mortals how the LLM works and how Wolfram really enhanced drastically the reliability of this LLM in general. So with Wolfram, what we can do is not simply, we can enable like smart code generation. And so in here, we know that LLM can write code, but with the Wolfram technology now actually can write code, real code, smart code to connect to diverse client data sources, and so can be much more versatile in practice for the real life application. And one other, I would say the most important feature of the Wolfram technology, actually the grounds AI to the facts. The common problem that AX makes mistakes, they are confident, but sometimes they are doing like incorrect statements. So Wolfram minimizes this hallucination by anchoring the LLM in like actual computation logic. Now, the next part of why Wolfram language. I mean, should I talk about the Wolfram language at the Wolfram Technology Conference? I mean, if you're listening to this talk, you probably know everything about Wolfram language. We know it's a game changer. You know the symbolic expression, the flexibility, the big library function, the unified language design, right? It's very easy to use, but actually why Wolfram language was so important to this LabV project. So there are two features that I want to point it out amongst all the nice features of Wolfram language. The first one is the wide range of computation areas. So from machine learning to data science, we have built-in function that allows us to perform out of the box difficult computation. And the second one that was extremely useful was, again, I want to repeat myself, is the tool suite to handling multiple data connection. So the LabV, as a third company, we have already 3 different databases, and so they require 3 different connections of handling the data and getting connected. And also, the Wolfram have out of the box very nice feature. So the APC, of course, is the next step. So if you imagine all this technology in a one centralized private environment, well, this is the APC actually. We know that all the language component and custom routines that we built can be deployed in APC, and they can easily accessible to the generated web API. And in this particular context, APC have, of course, a storage capability where you can save documents and data. But in this particular, actually, inside APC, we can store like the data retrieval from the various database to use in LLM computation. So in the same place, we have the LLM that can access quickly and very easy to their data. So, and last but not least, another important feature that extremely helpful for the LLM is the kernel forking. That fundamentally allows each request to start in exactly the same pristine state, ensuring the consistency and of the answer. And finally, the Wolfram Consulting Group. It's us. Wolfram Solution is one of the consulting. Why choosing us? Well, because the Wolfram solution actually helped to build the ChatGPT evaluation tool during the first month. Actually, the blog that we just saw actually was describing us actually this ChatGPT evaluation tool, where we demonstrated our expertise in this LLM technology that are right now they're very trendy. Another important part is that we have years experience with Wolfram Alpha, and in particular, we actually built and curated databases, ontological framework that are specifically designed to actually work with AI consumption, to work with the LLM and other AI. So it's an important part. We, of course, we have mastering data science. We have been modeling statistics and machine learning way before it was cool and was unknown. It's been 15 years that we are, I would say, on the top of the wave of this data science. And last but not least, actually, the Wolfram Consultant Group, it's we are really fast-paced a consulting group. We are working fast, and we also, one important feature is actually we can, as a part of Wolfram company, we have direct access to the very developers who built the Wolfram technology. So who is the best person for us to advise if not the same person that built it? So that was, it's incredibly valuable when we are delivering projects. So right now I want to show you very quickly actually the solution that we deployed, that it's basically integrating what I've said until now. So what you're looking here, you're looking at very simple diagram, very high level, that is illustrate actually what the architecture that we chose for this LabV project. So at the heart of the solution is this REST API that is connected to the LabV system inside here. This API, of course, is deployed in the Wolfram Enterprise Private Cloud, EPC. And I can say that wrongly, but there are like the two primary components. These are like the function chat and the LLM tools. Okay, the function chat, a built-in Wolfram language chat, allows to the user to connect actually to directly to the LLM. So, but it's just making a simple chatbot that is using any LLM today. But actually, we can use and we can leverage the custom LLM tools that we specifically design for the LabV in order to meet their uniquely requirements. So all the solution, it's very highly tailored solution for the LabV. One of the tools that you see in these diagrams actually is responsible for the data retrieval. So right here, there's the simple arrows that pointing like back and forward. But this is responsible for the data retrieval, and not as simply as a basic connection. But what we do as LLM tools is that we retrieve the data, we process, we clean the data, and we prepared it in very structured way that is optimized for the LLM use. This actually will ensure the precise computation analysis maintaining high quality output. Another important aspect of the system is the way that the data is managed. So the data is stored locally and temporarily within the EPC as a local symbol. And so this allows actually the LLM that is working within the system to work efficiently with the data, but respecting actually their strict data security protocols. This is something like unique that we designed and was one of the client actually preoccupation. They were worried about the leaking of the data, and so the architecture we design is that actually the LLM in general never sees the raw data. Okay, the chat provides the LLM and the data structure, so the LLM knows how to write code to extract and to manipulate, but it doesn't actually access the actual and the raw value. The only thing that is getting back on the LLM, and so the LLM actually will see, are the final result. So this careful design actually is ensure that sensitive data are protected, but we are still enabling actually to use the LLM to deliverable like the valuable insight. Of course, our expertise in data creation and the ontology framework played a crucial role in making all this system very effective, because we knew that from their complicated data structure that they have in the database, we were able to gathering, grouping, and flattening out in a very simple way in the way that actually the LLM actually can start to play with it. So I think that we are arriving at the end, the conclusion. At Wolfram Consulting, I can say that we are really proud to delivering this custom solution that not only meet but exceeding client expectation. And so I want to point it out like 4 points that are important. The high quality adaptation. We customize the LLM solution specifically tailored to LabV unique data needs. We focus on reducing AI hallucination, and we ensure that the system actually delivers accurate and relevant result. The competitive advantage for LabV, it's quite amazing actually, because we provide LabV using this technology a significant competitive edge. And so they are positioning them ahead of competition, opening new opportunity for growth and innovation as a German startup. Another point is the fast execution, another signature of the Wolfram Solution Group. But our team delivered this entire project in just 6 weeks. It's a remarkable feature that actually underscores our expertise in handling a high performance and complex AI solution. For us, Wolfram Solution, it's common to thrive under that deadline, but actually this success is another proof of our ability to deliver like the very top tier result without compromising any quality. And the last point was something kind of new, investor confidence. We are used to deal with stakeholders meetings in this project. We'll be showing preliminary results, but in this case, actually, LabV was able to show this a very early and impressive yet result to the investor, demonstrating their impact of the solution. And this has boosted their confidence, investor confidence, and really helped LabV to secure the funding needed for their future. So in conclusion, this project highlights the power of the collaboration between the Wolfram solution and LabV. We tailor our first world-class AI technology to meet their need. And we hope that we continue to enable companies like V to grow, innovate, and thrive. And I think that's it. That's it, folks. And this is the end. Any question? At this point, vote, great presentation. Okay, at high level, what kind of resources were involved in the Wolfram consulting team for this project? What kind of resources? As a personnel or hardware? Because their hardware solution was an EPC deployed in Azure environment that is connected to LLM, one of the model of ChatGPT. And the internal resources at the Wolfram Consulting Group, we have, I would say, one of the biggest experts in LLM technology that actually help us to find a beautiful solution and reduce this AI hallucination. Oh, they want to, so they're thinking me at like how many resources the many resources in terms of developer, we were like two person for 6 months, for 6 weeks. Oh, with the LLM model used change automatically, or will they remain with the LLM? Very good question. So the entire system that we design is pointing to one particular model, but of course they have the ability to change that model. It's up to them to decide when to change and where to change it. Changing the LLM models, the LLM models, it's very important, but it's very difficult to understand if you're changing, for example, from ChatGPT to Gemini or some Anthropic models. Which one is the best model to use in this particular context? Well, it's an open question. And actually in Wolfram Solution, we developed together with the Wolfram research in order to provide a benchmark site that tells you actually how good the model are working with the Wolfram language, and there are various criteria to understand what is the best model. But definitely changing automatically, it's not a good idea, because this model comes so fast, they're coming out so fast, and they are so frequently that it's not really safe to change on something that actually can easily break. And so, no, the short answer, they will remain with an LLM. They have all the tools to change it whatever they want. How are you protecting against the same MLM returning different answer? Another good question. So amongst the various parameters of this LLM, usually there are the temperature that actually tells you how much variation of the answer they want to have. We experience so the entire project, it's based on testing the LLM, prompting the LLM, and providing the tools to provide the answer. Okay, the more tool you provide, the better the result will be. Usually, when there are certain type of computation that are pretty much complicated, it's better to develop like custom tools. For example, the quality control chart. The quality control chart is one of the tools that actually provide a very specific answer to important question they arise. So it's always like a dilemma and like a trade-off and say, okay, should LLM actually try to get the answer by themselves, or should we like tell them what to do? And there is a balance. There is a balance between these two different approaches. We are batch testing these LLM in very consistent way. Some of them in this particular example, because the question were so specific that fundamentally the LLM were like right or wrong. Okay, and so once they were right, once we know actually to address this question, they are not changing the answer. If you're asking for something that is more vague and so more easy to answer, we saw with other LLM that actually can provide a lots of variety of answer. And here there's providing the answer is we are expecting the right answer. Okay. But what is changing on this LLM actually is the way that they're getting to this answer. So our primary objective and focus is to provide you the right answer. Sometimes certain LLMs have different way of achieving it. And so lately, actually, we've been dealing with a particular LLM that actually was trying to get every time a new way to get the answer. But as long the answer is consistent, no, not consistent, but as long as the answer is right, this is what it's most important. But again, the trade-off becomes also on the complexity and the very specific questions that actually a platform like the LabV can ask versus a general question that you're asking, for example, on the ChatGPT website. So it's something that there is a parameter to do that, and there is a various technique. But we are fully prepared to get the right answer in a very consistent way. Okay, we have only 15 seconds, but I can stay longer if there are any questions. Okay, if there are no other questions, I can take another question. I can stay longer, but if there are, and we can say goodbye and have a nice weekend. And I hope you really enjoy this presentation.